Just go to materials and you get that. Now, what you can then do is apply it. Doesn't seem to work if it's locked. That's what I found anyway. So I would suggest just unlock it there. Once you've done that, go and select one of them. There's loads of them. With that, I'm just going to click that one. Just need to click it. That's all you need to do. You'll notice it takes a few seconds to process and you get something like that, which is pretty good. Straight away, you've got an interesting design. What you can then do is you can modify lots of these other things. Still colour variation, just go with something slightly different. And every time you do it, obviously it takes a bit of time to process. And you can then add scratches, etc. There's also other options down here, such as rotations. Just try the rotation to see which angle you get. Sometimes you might be happy with it. Sometimes it might not do particularly anything. There are lots of rotation features. Oh, this one. Spade pattern rotation. Cross fingers, that will rotate this time. And maybe. No, that doesn't rotate here. Lots of rotation features. They don't always rotate. Okay, with this, I'm just going to go with what we've got at the moment. Because the key point of this video is not what you can do with this, because you can do a lot more than what this seems to be doing at the moment. Neural filters. If you go over here to the layers, you can see you've got this. Smart filters. It's the smart filter, smart object. You can then go to filter and you can go to neural filters. Neural filters can be applied to this. And then with that, you can go down here to landscape mixer and you've got this. You've got some presets, but you've also got custom. And the custom can use any file you want, but it also can use, I'm just going to cancel this now, layers from images from another document here. So let's just go and create something. Just going to go over here, gradient tool. I'm going to select any gradient here. I've got a load of different gradients, so let's just go. Doesn't matter particularly, so I'm just going to select one, apply it, and maybe apply a difference. So you can create very quickly, just like that. Just something very quick. Classic gradient, fairly complex gradient design, and linear and difference. Just to build up something with a lot of colour in it. And there is a reason for that. There is a reason for having something nice and colourful. You could just go with a grayscale image, perfectly reasonable, or use materials to create something else. But let's just go back here. And with this, I've got this image. I can now go to filter, neural filters, and this time I can use the gradient effect that I've just created. So let's just go over here, landscape mixer, select that. Activate it. That's the key thing. It says beta still. It's been beta for ages. Don't know if it's ever going to go out beta, but it's beta there. And then you get presets. And let's just click one of the presets. You can see quite quickly what it can create. It will create a very interesting sort of unusual ICC. Now, it's not instantaneous. And sometimes different settings will be required to actually activate it. In fact, in this case, it did seem to get a nice ice setting, or maybe this mountain setting, and so on. You can see you can create some interesting designs that way. Very sort of similar to that, I guess. However, what I want to show, custom. So in custom, you can then go here. So you've got landscape star, click here, and you got this, Untitled 2. That was just the document we just created. So Untitled 2, and you've got that. And then it will process with that. And you can see you get quite an interesting colourful design. Now, it doesn't particularly look like this, and you probably can reduce the day down. Let's just reduce that down, and let's see what the colour it generates. Now, looks a bit closer to the colours there. It just seems to take bits from it. However, what you can also do is you can drag to crop the image. So say you've got this colour, the greens, you want the green, you want it green in there. So let's just go over that bit. So select that, just that bit's going to be at, and it's going to process again. And now you've got the effect applied with that. Obviously uses combinations of what it thinks in there, blues and the greens, and it creates that. Now you can move it around. Let's just move it over here to the red colour, and you get that. So you can create a whole range of things. Now, unfortunately, it's a square. It doesn't seem to be, well, you can make it very small as well. You can't make it as a rectangle or circle or anything else. It's just a basic selection of an area. And you can see there I've got some green, and it's created this effect here. Now, another great thing about this is you can output it. And I would love to see all the filters in Photoshop with this feature. New layer mask, smart filter. Be brilliant if you could do that. So smart filter is the one I'm going to go with. So it just creates it as smart filter. So smart filter, you can then modify it later. So click OK. And once you've got that, you've got this. Now you can still go back and change the settings here. So with this, you go here, still variation, so you can just move this and it processes it. Let's just wait a few seconds. It's done so. However, one of the slightly annoying features of this, it then seems to completely ignore the neural filter. And I have to say, I haven't really worked out how to bring it back. It just gets rid of it. The only way to bring it back is to actually go to the neural filter here. So once you've done all your changes, you can, there's loads, like I say, changes here. Might even find the rotor. This one's quite a good one. Intensity and sun position. Once you've done all your changes, you got that. You can always go back to the neural filter. So, because it's still just got the parametric for some weird reason. But you can bring it back, just double click the neural filter, and then you'll get this again. And then it will process that again. Well, let's just go through it. And you get your design again. And like I say, you could maybe resize that and get a slightly different one. And then click OK. And you've got it back again. Just seems a bit of an unusual way of working. I do not know why it goes like that. However, there's also some really useful features here as well. So you haven't got just here. What you've also got is this. Let's just double click. As it said, double click. And hopefully it appears. You get a little, very little, again, you've lost. It's very helpful, very helpful. Well, let's just remove it. It makes sense, you can't see anything. So you've got colour burn, and you can see you've got that. So you get colour burn effect there. Click OK. And again, yes, I know. You've got to go back into neural filter. I think this needs a bit of rework in Photoshop. There's a bit of work required, methinks, on that one. And again, to actually get it doing anything, just move it around. And then, again, smart filter. And now, weirdly, the OK is not available. Oh, finally it's got OK. Yes, thank you. After all that, you can see it is a very, very powerful filter. It has its quirks. I think Photoshop, they need to look at that and see how to make it slightly more user-friendly, personally. But anyway, close that. And there you can see now you've got, from that basic design there, you've now got a slightly more interesting design. And of course, what you can do is you can still go and apply some other filter effects. So if you want to distort it, let's just go to distort and say twirl. And hopefully it still keeps the neural filter and parametric filter as well. Otherwise, you have to go through the whole rigmarole again. And there it is. It's at least got that, which I think creates a very interesting, unusual, abstract, but dark, forbidden, purple twirl design. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, thoughts, please let me know.